Welcome back to Destiny 2. In this video we're going to be going through, is it worth playing the Witch Queen expansion that is coming to the game? So basically we are going through all of the details. I found an article that is going to sum up the entire expansion. We'll be going through what sort of content you can expect and all that sort of stuff. But just quickly before we get any further into the video, if you're not currently subbed to the channel, make sure you do sub, turn notifications on. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to leave a like. All support is greatly appreciated. And if you want to support me further as a creator, then check out the links in the description. And let's get into it. Just quickly before we actually get into the meat of this video, a little while ago it was announced that the expansion had over 1 million pre-orders. I think it's absolutely disgusting for any company, any game to get that amount of money before the content is actually released. But that gives you a rough idea of how excited players are to get their hands on this expansion. So this article comes from Games Radar, and this is everything we know about the upcoming expansion. By the time you guys see this video, the expansion's probably about 12 hours away, or something like that. Maybe 18 hours, but you'll be able to play it in less than 24 hours. So when the Witch Queen arrives, you'll be facing down the cunning Hive goddess Savathun and her newly empowered army of Hive Lightbearers in her throne world, one of the expansion's new destinations. Destiny 2 The Witch Queen will add a big campaign, a new raid within a pyramid ship, and even more weapons, including the new Glaives special weapon type. The Witch Queen will also introduce a new weapon crafting system, and quality of life changes, and the launch of Season 16 will revamp the existing Void subclasses with aspects and fragments like Stasis. And let's continue to see everything we know so far about the expansion. So, Hive Guardians are a new Destiny 2 The Witch Queen enemy. In The Witch Queen, you'll be facing off against Savathun's lucent brood of Hive Lightbearers. Presumably, we'll learn about how exactly Savathun steals the power of light by the end of Season of the Lost, but for now we know she's used it to create Hive ghosts that can resurrect and empower dead Hive with powers similar to the Guardians. If you wasn't aware, your power level is going to be increased as well. I believe it's going up to 1560. In the trailers for The Witch Queen, we get brief glimpses of some of those abilities, including a Hive warrior holding and then throwing 2 void shields, exactly like a Sentinel Titan can. A wizard-like Hive soldier also creates an arc lightning storm in a similar way to a warlock, and another Hive enemy throws a volley of solar knives like a hunter. As with normal Guardians and their ghosts, Lucent Brood Hive can also be resurrected by their Hive ghosts, which seems like it's going to make them tough to deal with. You will thankfully be able to find and crush Hive ghosts to prevent any further resurrections. With a new Destiny 2 expansion comes a new destination to explore. This time the Witch Queen isn't adding a place in our solar system, but is instead bringing in Savathun's throne world. For anyone that doesn't know, throne worlds are small universes created by powerful Hive gods that prevent them from ever truly dying in the normal material universe. However, if they die in their throne world, that means game over forever. This new location is described as an uncharted wonderland of secrets and lies, and features a grand palace, overgrown swamps, and a lone pyramid ship from the Darkness's Black Fleet. In the Witch Queen campaign, you'll be journeying to Savathun's throne world to uncover more about her lies, alone or with your friends, and even on a harder difficulty. A legendary difficulty campaign option will also be available and will reward players for their efforts if they emerge successful. In this mode, enemies hit harder, respawning is heavily restricted, and enemies scale in difficulty depending on how many of you are in the fire team. So that everyone can join the fun, all players, regardless of their current power level, will have their gear automatically boosted up to 1350 when the Witch Queen launches. Through a combination of activities including the new endgame raid, players will strive to reach the new 1560 power cap and can exceed that thanks to the Season 16 artifact. At the moment of this article, there isn't too much information on the raid, and raids are typically kept quite quiet so the mechanics and stuff aren't given away. I'm not sure if there has been any info released. But Destiny 2 is also getting another 6-player match-made offensive-style activity, like Override and Astral Alignment, called Conflict Eternal, and again in this article not much is known about this either. So, moving on to the weapons, the new Glaive. Weapons in Destiny 2 The Witch Queen are getting some major new additions with this expansion. Not only is there going to be an entirely new weapon type, the Glaive, but new weapons will be craftable so that you can get your ideal role more easily. Glaives are a new type of melee-based energy weapon. They are Destiny 2's first ever first-person melee weapon, but they can also fire off ranged projectiles and deploy shields. To get yourself a Glaive, any of the new Throne World destination weapons and the Season 16 seasonal weapons, you will need to craft them. This more deterministic way of getting weapons means players will be able to have greater control over their weapon rolls, and they can add mods and shaders to create unique combinations. You'll also level up your weapons as you use them, making them better over time. How Glaives and the new weapon crafting system come into Destiny 2 is a mystery for now, but based on Bungie's description, it seems like that Pyramid Ship Relic Orb from Shadowkeep has something to do with it. The Witch Queen will introduce this new weapon crafting system to the game, but it will be expanded on with new weapons and even some old ones over time. Destiny 2 Beyond Light saw the introduction of the first Darkness subclass in Destiny history, which is Stasis. It uses an entirely new subclass customization system involving aspect and fragments that is wildly different to the fixed paths of the light subclasses, and Bungie is beginning to update the old light subclasses with the launch of the Witch Queen, starting with Void. Like Stasis with its freeze, slow and shatter keywords, Void will be getting the keyword treatment too. The main three are Suppression, Weaken and Volatile, the latter of which will cause enemies to explode when they die or take more damage. Other Void keywords include Overshield, Devour and Invisibility. Bungie has said that players will be able to craft subclass builds that mimic the original fixed paths, but there will also be plenty of new abilities from aspects and fragments. For example, Warlocks get an aspect that creates a sentient black hole that can launch itself at a target whenever you place a rift. The black hole damages enemies and siphons it to the Warlock as ability, energy or health. This decision by Bungie does mean that another Darkness subclass was skipped in favour of updating what's already in the game. Solar and Arc will see a revamp with aspects and fragments in future seasons this year. So beyond the Witch Queen and the campaign, Bungie has confirmed that new PvE, raid or dungeon activities will be coming to the game with every season. Season 16 will launch with the Witch Queen and its new raid, and we will be treated to 2 new dungeons and another reprised version of a classic Destiny 2 raid throughout this year. While we know that the reprised raid will be free for all players, we recently learned that the 2 dungeons will be premium add-ons on top of the season passes. You will need to purchase the dungeons separately whenever they are available if you want to play them, or you can purchase the deluxe edition. It was also revealed that weekly raid and dungeon rotations will be added to the game at some point this year as well. These rotations will give players new ways to earn rewards in both old and new PvE endgame activities every week. And then in terms of things getting vaulted, it's a necessary thing that must be done to keep Destiny 2 from bursting at the seams. It's pissed a lot of people off because it's vaulting paid content. So things that are going into the vault include the Forsaken expansion campaign, the Tangled Shore destination, exotic quests from Forsaken and 2020 to 2021 seasons. There's also a couple of seasons, there's seasonal narrative quests, there's seasonal activities. They are all going away. If you already own Forsaken, you'll retain access to all of the exotic weapons released with the expansion and following seasons, as well as the 2 major endgame activities, which are the Shattered Throne Dungeon and the Last Wish Raid. If you don't own the Forsaken expansion, you can buy a pack now or after the Witch Queen's launch to get access to those 2 endgame activities and be able to earn all the Forsaken exotics without having to buy the entire expansion. Furthermore, some of the seasonal content from Beyond Light and later will be distributed to other sources within Destiny 2, which we've detailed further down. Then there are a lot of quality of life changes and stuff coming to it. And that is pretty much the entire article. So there is lots coming to the game with the Witch Queen expansion. If you want to get your hands on the expansion, its base edition is going to set you back £35. If you want to grab yourself the deluxe edition, which is going to include seasons 16 to 19, so you're getting 4 seasons with it, you'll get the 2 Year 5 dungeons, you'll get an exotic SMG, a catalyst, an ornament, and an exotic sparrow. So if you think about it, these dungeons I believe are going to cost £5 each or something like that. The seasons have their typical price, I believe, which is $10, so about £7 or £8. I'm going to say £8 for them, and that's for each one. So if you are interested in Destiny 2, I would skip the standard edition. It's going to be £35, but you don't get the dungeons, you don't get seasons, you miss out on the exotic SMG and the other things I mentioned. Whereas if you do play the game, you are interested, for £70, so it's double the price, I believe it's like $80 or something, you will get the deluxe edition, so you'll get the 4 seasons, which is going to cost you £32 anyway. You'll get the 2 dungeons, which could be an extra £10, then you'll get an extra few things thrown in as well. So you're already saving yourself money, and you're claiming access to the seasons and everything when they do launch. However, another edition I spotted on the Xbox Store, not sure if it is available on other platforms, I'm pretty sure it will be, but you can get the deluxe edition of the Witch Queen expansion and the Bungie 30th anniversary bundle for £88. So I mean, we're talking a fuckload of money, considering this is just expansion stuff because Destiny 2 is free anyway. But as well as the seasons, the 2 Year 5 dungeons, the expansion, all that sort of stuff, the 30th anniversary pack includes a dungeon, you get the Galahorn exotic rocket launcher, new weapons, armor, and more. So I mean, if you're a true fan, you haven't already got the 30th anniversary, like all of that content, and you're interested in the Witch Queen and playing all of the seasons, then that's probably going to be the best. However, I'm pretty sure you'll be able to buy a deluxe pack after, so you can jump in with the standard edition of the Witch Queen, see how it is for £35, and then even though you're going to have to pay more money, it saves you dishing out that money in the first place, like up front. So personally, for me, I would say stick with standard. If you're interested in just seeing the new expansion, playing the new campaign, all of that stuff. If you're really interested, get the biggest one if you've got the money for it, obviously. You get the 30th anniversary bundle in there as well. However, if you're not too interested in the Galahorn and the dungeon, then what you can do is get the £70 one. I believe it'll be $80. You can get the deluxe, which is going to give you both the dungeons, which are going to be sold separately, all 4 of the seasons, which I believe will last you a year, and you get a couple of exotic things chucked in there as well. So it all comes down to how much you enjoy Destiny 2. As I said, there's been over 1 million pre-orders for this, so I would be a little bit cautious. There's probably going to be some server issues and stuff when it does first launch. And even though I've been umming and ahhing, I will be picking this up. I'm currently, as I'm doing this recording, I'm installing the game. So I will be checking it out. I'm probably going to stick with the standard edition to start with. I might get deluxe, I'm not entirely sure. I don't think I will get too involved in the seasons, but we'll have to see how it goes, because I might eventually play the dungeons and stuff. We'll literally have to see. I'm just really interested in trying the campaign, and I do actually want to kind of give it a go on the legendary difficulty. But what we're going to do is leave the video there. I would say it's worth playing. Destiny 2 expansions haven't really let down in the past, and I don't think this is going to be a first time they do. It's just normally after they release, you get a lot of controversy when they start vaulting stuff, and there's just controversial decisions on things within the game and all that sort of stuff. But I believe the campaign itself will be really good. You've got the new crafting system, new weapons, you've got dungeons, you've got a raid. There's going to be a lot of content to play for the amount of money you're spending. So what we're going to do is leave the video there. Let me know your thoughts and stuff in the comments, and I'll see you in the next one. I hope you guys enjoyed it.